तस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनच्छलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिकाकांत राधाकांत नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी शुभानुस्ते देवी नमामि हरिप्रिये वंश कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम राम। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते वेदांत स्वामी निर्विशेष कम करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयति गिरिं हे श्री Hare Krishna. So thank you all for coming back in our efforts to relish beautiful flow of the nectar of Chaitanya Lila. We are continuing to discuss the very wonderful and foundational teachings of Krishna consciousness in the form of Sri Sanatana Shiksha, the instructions to Srila Sanatana Goswami by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. So these Shikshas are very, very special because, as Srila Prabhupada would say, there are two kinds of literatures or scriptures. Those which speak about God and those which are spoken by God. Bhagavatam is predominantly about God. Of course, there are certain sections where the Lord himself is there. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, various incarnations. Majority is about the Lord by various different. Bhagavad Gita is predominantly by the Lord. Of course, Chaitanya Charitamrita as such is a work which is like the Bhagavatam in the sense that it narrates the Lila. But there are significant sections of teachings of Lord Chaitanya where the instructions of Lord Chaitanya are captured directly. So these are the seminal teachings of our line. Teachings which guide a living entity towards not just transcending material existence, but having transcended material existence. What is the pinnacle of spiritual attainment for the individual self? Prema Pumartho Mahan. Love is that ultimate goal. And within that love, what is great, greater, and greatest? Most of the top. What Lord Chaitanya has. So these are very, very beautiful teachings. We are somewhere close to the middle of the chapter. Not yet crossed the middle. So we are continuing the teachings. Lord Chaitanya, his teachings to Srila Sanatana Goswami, has come to the point where he is telling Sanatan that for the bewildered living entity, Maya Mugdha Jivera Nahi Swata Krishna Jnana Jivera Kripaya Kailo Krishna Vedapura. The living entity is who's bewildered by Maya, by the false ego, by false identification. He's so bewildered, he has forgotten his identity and he is, and it's not mentioned here, The Acharyas compare the bewildered living entity so deluded as if being under the control of a witch possessed. The Maya Tara Jhapatiya Dhari. A possessed person speaks all kinds of funny things which are not related to reality. He is almost like a madman. Similarly, a living entity deluded by misidentification by Maya. His words, his understanding, his intentions, they're all lost because when the foundation of identity is misplaced, all the subsequent derivatives from that with respect to what is the goal of life, what is good for me, everything goes wrong because the fundamental is wrong. So Krishna is so kind. Lord Chaitanya is revealing that as per the scriptures themselves, the Lord gives Dailo Veda Puran. But the Vedas and the Puranas must be understood under the guidance of a proper, profiled spiritual master. Because the Vedas overall, Traigunya Vishya Veda Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna. Vedas discuss so many topics. The Vedas cater to the entire spectrum of living entities who want to follow dharmic life. It's a very, very small section is actually interested in the topmost, which is prema. The Vedas only speak about prema. Most people will not be interested in even following dharma. That is the sad reality. So there are so many Vedic scriptures. In some scriptures, a particular devata, a particular kind of worship is glorified. Oh, going to heaven is glorified. And Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita mentions this also, the third chapter. They think this is all in all, this is the goal. Perform wonderful yajnas, dana, tapa, punya, and go to heaven and enjoy. So yes, all these things are also there in the Vedas. But Lord Chaitanya says, I mean, he quotes a verse from the Padma Purana. He says that all this glorification of various devatas also as the supreme and all that, just actually creating an illusion for the conditioned souls. It's only to regulate their activity so that they can be progressive towards higher consciousness. Not the highest immediately, but higher. But if one properly looks at all the scriptures together and reconciles them properly and tries to understand what is the key teaching, and this is what is quoted in the Padma Purana, one will come to the right conclusion that collectively, if you don't quote verses out of context and you collectively see all the scriptures, then one will come to the conclusion that Lord Shri Hari Vishnu is the one and only personality of. So ultimately, one must come to the conclusion that Vedas are ultimately pointing to Lord Krishna as the Supreme. And he quotes one verse from the Bhagavad, Lord Chaitanya quotes, where Lord Krishna himself is saying, what is the purpose of all Vedic literatures? Who they actually focus on? Who is the object of the understanding of the scriptures? Only I know the real truth about this. So I only created this whole system. I know the real meaning. I know the real purpose. I know how and why it is organized like this. That the ultimate purpose of Vedic literatures is finally to know me. Everyone is speculating, trying to understand me. Yes, the first step of Vedas is to distinguish illusion from reality, understanding me and my Maya, the difference. Eventually, one has to come to the platform of properly understanding me as it is. Only if one eventually understands, Bahunam Jarmanama Ante Jnanaman Mam Prapadyate Vasudeva Sarvam. So when finally comes to that conclusion, oh, Krishna is the ultimate source of everything. I have to surrender. There is nothing beyond him. He is the cause of all causes. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. And then one surrenders to the Lord, then one becomes truly satisfied. And that is the satisfaction the living entity is ultimately hankering. And in Krishna, in the shelter of Krishna, in that Sharanagati, in that connection, only the Jiva will find such fulfillment, because that transcendental form of Krishna is so unlimited and is full of such unlimited transcendental opulences. All kinds of energies and potencies that have the Lord has. The Lord has his internal energy, which manifests the spiritual world, the material energy, which manifests the material world, the jiva energy, the marginal, from where the jivas come. All manifestation ultimately is nothing but manifestation of the Lord's energy. So, in that sense, it is not different from the Lord. The Lord is present in his energy, even though the Lord has his own independent existence. But the Lord is the origin of both the material and spiritual manifestations. Correct? In Bhagavad Gita 10 chapter 8 verse. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattam sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante vam buddha bhava samanvita. Even in the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavat, when Krishna Lila is described, what is the main focus of the 10th canto? The 10th canto is to establish the 10th topic of the Srimad Bhagavat. The Bhagavat discusses 10 topics of the Puranas. The ultimate topics beginning with Sarga, Visarga, so on. Sthanam, Poshanam, Ishanukata, so many topics, 10 topics. The last and the topmost topic is Ashraya. This is very important. Who's the ultimate Ashraya? Who's the ultimate shelter for all existence, including the soul? Spiritual energy, the material energy, and the Jiva energy find that ultimate shelter in the Lord, because the Lord is the possessor and the resting place of all energies. And that Lord in his original form is known as Sri Krishna. He is the ultimate source, Sarva Karana for my. So this is very important, Sanatana, that the Jiva who has properly understood the scriptures comes to this conclusion. Because sometimes people are bewildered. Sometimes they end up with a conclusion that the end all and be all of life is just to perform yajna and enjoy and go to heaven, then come back again, perform piety, enjoy in heaven, again come back. That's not something to go to impersonal Brahman is the ultimate goal of life. Yes, those attainments have also been mentioned in the Vedas to attract those who are attracted to these kind of attainments, to help them to come higher than where they are. It's not the ultimate ashraya for this. Ultimate ashraya is to re-establish their loving devotion with Sri Krishna, the original form of the Supreme Personality. Oh Sanatan, now I want to describe to you, now that I've explained to you, ultimate shelter is Sri Krishna. Let me explain to you about that eternal form of the Lord, of Lord Sri Krishna. So that you understand this topic. He is the absolute truth. He is the final word. Devoid of all duality. Because nothing exists outside of him. Like Krishna said in the Gita, right? We discussed this so many times. I mean everything, everything is in me. There's nothing beyond me. Matta partaram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya. There is nothing beyond me. All existence is within me, both material and spiritual. And that supreme truth plays as the son of Nanda Maharaj. That Supreme Lord, who is the source of everything and the sum total of everything, he appears as a 14-year-old cowherd boy. He is not ordinary. His body is not like us. This condensed Satchidananda, highly dense, highly condensed transcendence is the Lord's spiritual. It's composed of eternity, bliss, and knowledge. He is the ultimate shelter. He is known as Govinda. He is Parameshwara. He has a Satchidananda Vigraha. He has no origin. He is the origin of everyone. He is Sarva Karana Karanam, the primeval cause of all causes. That Govinda, who is full of all opulences and who resides in Goloka Vrindavan, is worshipable. He is the original. And so many incarnations which the scriptures speak about. एते चांश कलप स कृष्णस्तु भगवान स्वयं इंद्रारी व्याकुलम लोके हृदयंती युगे युगे. The Bhagavatam says so many incarnations. The Bhagavatam mentions 24. 10 are the more popular ones. But all of these are ete cha amsa kalaha. They are either his parts or the parts of his parts, which means from the Purusha avatars, parts are coming. But Krishna is not an avatar. Krishna is avatari, the origin of all avatars. And he comes again and again in different yugas. Protect. This truth, which is ultimately understood as Krishna, can be approached broadly by three kinds of spiritual process. This is also 11. But a similar verse is there in the Bhagavad, where Krishna is telling this to Uddhav. That ultimately for spiritual advancement, there are only all processes fall into one of the three categories. Jnana, Yoga, and Bhakti. Somebody may say, what happened to karma? Of course, karma, as in fruitive karma, is not even a spiritual process. Karma yoga, or rather Nishkama karma yoga, which is transcendental action, is considered as a part of within Jnana yoga. It's the early part of Jnana yoga. So that's why it is oftentimes not described as a distinct independent process. So the broad classification is Jnana, Yoga, Jnana, Yoga, Bhakti, Tina, Sadhanera Vashe. These are the three ways by which to approach the transcendental truth. And by these three processes, the Lord is understood in three aspects. Brahma, Atma, Bhagavan, Trividha Prakashe. Through Jnana, one can only understand the Lord up to the Brahma aspect. Through Yoga, to understand him up to the Paramatma aspect. But through Bhakti, one can understand him all the way as he originally is, as Bhagavan. And then Lord Chaitanya quotes the verse from the second chapter of the first canto. Vadanti tattvavidas tattvam yajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti. Those who are actually tattvavid, those who know the truth, those who know the ultimate tattva, vadanti tattvavidas tattvam, they describe that tattvam as non-dual. It is one tattva. There are not two, there are not three. But within that one, depending on the depth of our realization, he is realized in three ascending orders. First as Brahman, more deeper as Paramatma, and the innermost as Bhagavan. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavan iti shabdati. Jiva Goswami says it is specifically given in this order of deeper and deeper realization. The Jnanis are interested in Brahman, the Yogis are interested in Paramatma, the Bhaktas realize Bhagwan, and by realizing Bhagwan, they automatically realize Brahman and Paramatma. Because Brahman and Paramatma are emanations from Bhagwan. What is this Brahman? Tasya eva tanubha. Brahman is nothing but the impersonal rays, the sunshine coming from the sun. The Brahman effulgence is the effulgence coming from the transcendental body of Krishna. This is unlimitedly spread in all directions. It is all pervading. It is without any material variety. It is pure transcendental existence. That pure transcendental existence is all pervading. It's like Krishna's body effulgence. Just like the sun spreads this sunshine in all areas. The sun is in one place, but the sunshine is spread everywhere. Similarly, the Supreme Lord Bhagavan spreads himself everywhere in the form of his Majut. You look at the sun from a far distance. The sun is shining so brightly that all we see is the shine of the sun. So for us, sunshine seems to be the sun from a long distance. Right? When we look at the sun, what do we see? How many of us can even attempt to look at the sun? But if you see, all we see is just blazing light coming out. Can you see anything behind it? No. So blazing that the light is all we see. It appears as if the sun comprises simply of effulgence. Is that the truth? That's only part of the truth. From a far distance, the supreme truth appears to be pure effulgence. And then jnanis get just so attracted. They think this is all. This is it. There's nothing beyond this. This effulgence is where I want to remain in suspended animation for eternity. Because there is no material inebriety, no effect of Rajogun, Tamogun, Sattvagun. I just want to be in this Brahmananda for eternity. No, you are still looking at the Supreme Truth from very far. It appears as if it is only shine. Behind the shine, there is the source of the shine. Go closer. Actually, in that sunshine, the Brahma Jyoti, which emanates from the body of the Lord, it said unlimited Vaikuntha planets are floating. In fact, it is said in one corner of that Brahma Jyoti sky, there is this material cloud. Wherein the material world is there. But the vast majority of the Vaikuntha planets, the 3/4 of all existence, Vaikuntha lokas are floating in this Brahman effulgence, the transcendental sky. Then Paramatma, you go more closer to the sun. Then people can see that, oh, it's not just the shine is the outside part. Come closer, see that there is a Suryalok. There is a, Prabhupada says, sun planet. Because in modern words, you will say the star. So there's a star, there is a, according to modern physicists, it's a huge cloud of gas where there is a fission happening continuously. Hydrogen, helium, or something. Not fusion reaction. And then that gives rise to the sunshine. Because continuously light is being thrown as that reaction is happening. That's the physicist explanation. So there is the sun globe from which the sunshine is coming. So when one comes closer to the sun, then one understands this is not only effulgence, the effulgence is the source, and the source is that globe of the sun. That is like understanding of the Paramatma. The Paramatma who is the source of all the living entities. Each Jiva, the scripture sometimes compares each Jiva, each individual living entity. They say so many rays are coming from the sun of Brahmajyoti. From one ray of coming from the Lord's effulgence, one particle of the ray is one Jiva. Unlimited direction unlimited living entities are being manifested from the rays from the Brahma Jyoti. But Krishna is the source. That's why he's Param Atma, that the Param Atma from whom the coming. He's the original source of all entities. That's why Krishna is known as Param. Means that is one of the features of Krishna. Then one very nice verse is quoted. Srimad Bhagavad Maharaj and Shukdev Goswami says, Krishnam enam avehi tvam atmanam akhilatmanam jagadhitaya soapyatra dehi va bhati mayaya. You should know Krishna to be the original soul of all Atmas. He's the soul of the souls. That's why Prabhupada would often use the word super soul. Soul of the soul. We have a soul, but who's the soul of the soul? The soul is not independent. There is a soul of the soul. Who's the Param Atma? Very interesting words Prabhupada uses. For the benefit of the whole universe, the Bhagavatam says, he has out of his causeless mercy appeared in this world as if an ordinary human being. But actually he comes down by virtue of his spiritual. So the Lord comes into this world. He plays around with us and performs his Lila just to attract our hearts. But he eternally exists as Bhagavan, the original form in the spiritual world. So there are three aspects: Brahman, the effulgence; Paramatma, the sun globe; and then Prabhupada explains, if one goes further closer into the sun, when he goes in, what will appear like simply a ball of fire, abode. There are living entities staying inside who have bodies which are of fire element. And amongst all these entities living there, there is one main entity who is the predominator of all these other entities, who is Vivaswan, the sun god. That is the Bhagavan feature. That is the personal form of the Lord. It's the ultimate realization of the sun. So those who look at sun from a very far distance, they think the sunshine is the sun. Those who come closer to the surface, the Ashtanga yogis, they think, oh, Paramatma, who's the soul, source of all these souls, is ultimate realization. So all the way in, finally come face to face with the Supreme Lord. This example, the Lord Surya Dev. Oh, it is you. It is actually the final understanding of who is Surya. So there's a very beautiful verse in the Upanishads. In the Ishopanishad, Chavasya Upanishad. हिरण्मयेन पात्रेण सत्यस्यापि हितं मुखं तत्त्वं पुषन् अपावृणु सत्यधर्माय दृष्टये. O Supreme Truth, the devotee is praying to God. Your face is covered over by your shining effulgence. I cannot make out what is the truth behind this effulgence. Everyone is enamored by your effulgence. They think this effulgence is all in all. This is the final word in the absolute truth. It's not. Something hiding behind. Correct? Sometimes an example is given. Now, the Prabhupada gives many examples to illustrate this. We have time to go through all the examples. One of the examples is when a train at night is coming towards you on the railway track. What do you see? From a long distance, when you see a train approaching, all you see is the light in front of the train. All you see is a bright light. Don't see the train. You only see the bright light because the bright light is overwhelming your sight. It doesn't allow you to see the train. Only when the train really comes close, then you know, hey, this is a train. This is not a light moving. Similarly, Hiranmayena Patrena Satyasyapi Hitam Mukham, the real truth of the Supreme Person is covered over by his shining effulgence. O Supreme Lord, please remove the cover of your effulgence so that I can see the beautiful face of your personality. To know who you actually are. Tattvam Pushan Upavrunu Satya Dharmaya Drishtaye. So that I can understand the final conclusion of who you actually are. So that is the understanding. So this understanding is very, very central to the Gaudiya Vaishnava teaching. This is very important for us. So this material world is also permeated by Brahman and Bhagwan. Brahman and Paramatma. Some people give too much importance to this material world, saying as if, oh, this universe is everything that exists. Krishna tells Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, when he's describing his opulences. Arjuna, why should I tell you so much about my opulences? You just understand this much. Ekam Shena Sthito Jagat. Tiny fragment of myself. I have pervaded the entire material existence. Tiny fragment. Correct? Some people say the universe is God. That conception is there. That is known as the Virata Rupa conception. That is for those who are still at the material consciousness level. Bhagavatam explains. The topic is discussed in a fair detail in the second canto, third canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. That the universe itself is God. There is no God beyond the universe. The universe itself is God. Yes, the universe is actually very small. There is so much beyond it you cannot perceive. Calm, Shenest. It's so difficult to understand me, Arjuna. If you cannot even go beyond the universe, how can you? And I am just permeating by my energy. I am so much far beyond in my spiritual world, sitting in Golok Vrindavan, the Radharani and the Gopis and the Gopas, and I perform beautiful pastime. How can you understand? Since I have given the scriptures. Scriptures by themselves are not enough. You have to learn them from the Guru to understand I am the goal, but that is also not enough. If you actually want to understand me as I am, Tattvataha, the only way to understand me as I am is service. Bhakte Bhagwanera Anubhava Purna Rupa Eka E Vigrahe Tanra Ananta Swarup. By devotional activity, one can understand the transcendental form of the Lord, which is perfect in all respects. There's no other way. Not through jnana, not through yoga, only through bhakti. Although this form is one, this one form is Krishna, the original form, can expand his form to unlimited numbers by his supreme will. God is one, but he can expand himself into many, many forms by his. So now actually having established Lord Chaitanya, having established Sanatana, that Krishna is the original form of the Lord. Krishna is the source of Paramatma. Krishna is the source of Brahman. Krishna is the final word of spiritual realization. He says that the transcendental form of the Lord, that Bhagwan aspect, is topmost. But within that Bhagwan aspect also there is variety. So now Lord Chaitanya is going to go into another subtopic in his discussion. What are the various forms of the Supreme? Interesting. This is described in good detail in the book Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Please read that in a very nice summary form. It all comes from here only. The simple descriptive way. Lord Chaitanya tells Sanatana Goswami, Lord, the Supreme Lord, exists in three principal forms. Swayam Rupa, Tad Ekatma Rupa, and Avesha Rupa. So now the discussion is going to get a bit technical. Please bear with me. If you understand and remember, good. If you understand and forget, okay. If you don't understand and never remember, still by faithfully hearing, you'll be purified. Don't worry too much. Don't fret over it too much if you cannot grasp it. It is a bit technical. It is a little hard to understand the technicalities. You can peacefully read this in teachings of Lord Chaitanya at your own pace, 2 hours aside, and read it slowly, sentence by sentence, and try to make sense. The sum and substance of this is ultimately all that this section is saying is Krishna is original. All other forms come from him. Yes, God is one. Is Krishna God? Yes. Is Ram God? Yes. Sorry. Ram be God if Krishna is God. Ram can also be God. Because the Lord can have many forms. Narsingha? Yeah, he's also God. Huh? Third God. Yeah, why only Narsingha? Even Vaman is God. Narayan is God. Vishnu is God. Huh? And not one Vishnu. There are three types of Vishnu. All God. So how we understand what are these various forms of God and what categories do they broadly divide into? So that's a very beautiful conceptual view given for us to be able to understand and appreciate these various forms and what are the various categories they come into. So a brief but an all-encompassing framework has been given. And he says there are three broad categories: Swayam Rupa, Tad Ekatma Rupa, and Avesha Rupa. The original form of God, Swayam Rupa, is Krishna, the cowherd boy, who's in the original Golok Vrindavan. Right? The first original Krishna. How that is determined, I do not know. But there is some one original. That original sometimes will become more than one forms. Exact same Krishna, but more than one forms. For example, if that Krishna, one Krishna becomes two Krishna. One is with Radharani, one is with Chandravali at the same time, for example. Then one is Swayam Rupa, original. One is Swayam Prakash, original copy. It's still original only. It's still the first Krishna, but is copy of first Krishna. Exactly same form, same beauty. No difference, but still original is original. Something like that. There's Swayam Rupa and Swayam Prakash. So this Swayam Rupa, Swayam Prakash are essentially the same cowherd boy Krishna, Govinda, in the spiritual world. So now that explanation is there, Swayam Rupa and Swayam Prakash. Then it is said in his original form, Krishna manifests two features, Prabhava and Vaibhava. So Prabhava is when he expands his one original form into many forms. Example is given, Ras Lila. Krishna was one when he entered the Ras Lila. Everyone started dancing. Suddenly each gopi sees, oh, Krishna is with me. Every gopi has Krishna. Exact same Krishna, copy. Same Vrindavan Krishna. It's not that one is Krishna, one is Rama, one is Narasimha. No. Same exact Krishna. It's dancing with each one. So there are multiple forms, millions of Krishnas. So that Swayam Rupa has manifested Prabhava expansions. So just like Krishna in Vrindavan has this Prabhava expansions in Ras Leela, Krishna in Dwarka also has Prabhava expansions when he married 16,108 wives. Correct? The Bhagavatam describes he was with each wife. He would have his family life. This is described in a fair amount of detail in the Bhagavatam. Very nice. We're not going to those details. Very sweet. That so that one becomes many. Then again, when it was time to go to the court, all those 60,108 Krishnas would come out from their respective palaces, walk, would come to the road of going to the court, and all will merge. Then one, the original, perhaps the original is with Rukmini, I am assuming. Original of Dwarkadisha, not original of the original, Sham Sundar. So that is known as the Prabhava expansions. Prabhava Prakash. These expansions are, and the expansions of Rasa dance are known as Prabhava Prakash. And these expansions are not like the expansions that the yogis have. Yogis also, like Saubhari Muni, they had powers that they can manifest 8 forms simultaneously. Lord Chaitanya says, no. Those forms, they all have to be of similar, and they have to be doing almost the same thing at the same time. But Narad Muni was surprised when he saw 16,108 Krishnas in 16,108 palaces, and he saw each person doing something different. One place Krishna was meditating. After he woke up, he was doing his sadhana. What was he meditating on? On himself. So he has nothing higher than him. One place he was playing with his children. One place he was joking with his wife. And various kinds of. One place he was discussing some domestic affairs. It's like that. So astonished. Same Krishna is doing different things. Now, Lord Chaitanya explains there is another category. So one is Prabhava Prakash and the another is Vaibhava Prakash. So Prabhava Prakash is when it's the same form, but for expansion purpose. Exact same form, copies. But Vaibhav Prakash forms of the Lord are when the Lord expands into a form which is of a different mood, different emotional features. And usually, when there is a different emotional feature, there's typically a variance in the form. It's not exactly a Sham Sundar form. The Sham Sundar has a very specific mood. That mood is only Sham Sundar. But when it takes different moods, different forms along with that, it displays different qualities and different activities in that. So in that way, innumerable Vaibhav Prakash forms are manifested. They are all ultimately one. They are all Krishna only. There are different degrees of the sweetness, attractiveness of Krishna manifested. Krishna is 100%. Krishna Vrindavan is 100%. But the potency of various forms, even though it's the same Krishna, ultimately is manifested in different degrees. So even though we see so many forms of the Lord, and even though they may be varying degree of manifestation of the potency of the Lord, we always understand that they are ultimately non-different. Don't go and disrespect Lord Vishnu. Oh, I want to worship Krishna. Expansion of the expansion of the expansion of the expansion. You don't. Even then, he is the same Lord, because ultimately the Lord is one. You are one. Although you are, Lord Chaitanya quotes very beautiful verses. Says, although Lord, you are manifested in so many forms. Annecha samskritatmano vidina bhi hitena te yajanti tvan mayas tvam tvai bahumurti ekamurtikam. Bahumurti ekamurtikam. Even though you are manifested in Bahumurti, you are ekamurti. You are one. One means ultimately the same person. Not one that we and God are one. One means all these forms of yours are ultimately your own form. One example, or the prime example of the Vaibhav Prakash manifestation, the first is Balaramji. Within Goloka itself, Balaramji, first expansion of Krishna, practically as good as Krishna, but different mood, slightly different bodily hue, equally powerful, but white in color instead of sham. and he has a different mood. What is his mood? Sevaka Bhagavan. One is the enjoyer Bhagavan, one is Sevaka Bhagavan. So that is an example of Vaibhav. Another example of Vaibhav Prakash is Krishna, is Devaki Nandan in Dwarka. That Devaki Nandan sometimes manifests two hands, sometimes even manifests four hands. Dwarka, that is something interesting. And the Lord explains when he manifests two hands, he is known as Vaibhav Prakash. When he is four-handed, he is called Prabhav Prakash. But original form is Sham Sundar. Original form of Krishna dresses as a cowherd boy. And he really thinks of himself as a cowherd boy. I am the son of Nanda Maharaj. When he appears in Dwarka, oh, I am the son of Vasudeva and Devi. That is his name. And instead of having the Vaishya mentality, which is in Goloka, same Supreme Lord has a Kshatriya warrior mentality. But one should understand that the beauty, sweetness, attractiveness of the Sham Sundar Krishna is much more superior and pleasant that of Krishna in Dwarka, Krishna in Mathura, or for that matter, any other incarnation of the Lord. In fact, even Vasudev so agitated to see the sweetness of Govinda. This Vasudev is not Vasudeva. Vasudev is the expansion of the Lord, Vasudev. Vasudev is the son of Vasudev. Vasudev is the son of Devaki and Vasudev. The Mathura and Dwarka Krishna. Vasudev is eager. Even Krishna's own other forms are eager to see Krishna's original form. Can you imagine what to speak of us? This verse is quoted. Indeed, Vasudev is agitated to see the sweetness of Govinda, and a transcendental greed awakens in him to enjoy that sweetness. Govindera madhuri dekhi Vasudevera shobha. Sahi madhuri aswadite vajaya lobha. So what to speak of living entities being attracted to Krishna? The original form of Krishna is so attractive that the Prabhava Prakasha, Vaibhava Prakasha are all attracted. The Vasudev here doesn't refer to the Chaturvyuha, refers to Vasudev Krishna here, the son of Vasudeva, this particular Vasudeva. So that is another Chaturvyuha Vasudev is a different Vasudev expansion. So some other verses are quoted. I'll not go through everything, otherwise it will be very slow. So there are few examples given how the attractiveness of Krishna Vraja is so much superior that everyone is hankering. See, Lakshmi Devi hankers. The wives of Krishna in Dwarka are also hankering. See Krishna. Vasudeva and Devaki are hankering. It is so beautiful that Krishna of Vrindavan is also hankering. See his own beauty. Everyone else is enjoying my beauty. How can I experience that epitome of beauty? It's like sugar wants to taste its own sweetness. How can sugar taste its own sweetness? Sugar cannot taste. Because to taste something, there must be a subject-object relationship. The subject and object are the same. How can it experience itself properly? So beautiful example is given. Krishna is thinking, who manifests an abundance of sweetness greater than mine? Such sweetness that which has never been experienced before, which causes wonder in the mind of all. Alas, Krishna is lamenting. I myself become bewildered when I see my own beauty. I was once walking and he saw his own reflection in a jeweled pillar. I just suddenly noticed sometimes on the side of the eye we see something. Something extremely attractive. There be somebody who's so attractive that I am getting attracted. Looked in that direction. It's that very attractive person who's there. Krishna realized it is his own reflection. How much pleasure Radharani must be getting. That she's always devoted to meditating on this particular. And these kind of leelas are the seed for Krishna to assume the form of Lord Chaitanya. Even though that is not discussed here, these pastimes are quoted in the context of why Krishna becomes Lord Chaitanya by taking the mood of Radharani, because he wants to taste himself. Taste himself, he has to become a devotee. To become a devotee, even though he is himself, he has to take the mood of a devotee, and the topmost devotee is Radharani. So Krishna takes the mood of Radharani, so he can look at himself and love himself, appreciate himself. Oh, this is so wonderful. Mother would often say that he wants to become God, but God wants to become his own devotee. There's nothing higher than anyway. That is the highest understanding as revealed by Lord Chaitanya. Then Lord Chaitanya goes on to explain to Sanatana Goswami. 5 more minutes. See how much. When a form of Krishna which expands from himself is slightly differently manifested and his features are a little different in the emotion and form, that form is known as Tad Ekatma Rupa. Tad Ekatma Rupa. It is same, but it's slightly different. And within the Tad Ekatma Rupa, there are two categories, Vilasa and Swamsha. Vilasa are pastime expansions for the purpose of specific pastimes, and personal expansions, which are known as Swamsha. So according to the pastime and personal expansion, there are various differences. Again, the Vilasa form is divided again into Prabhava and Vaibhava according to the same categorization or of rule that was discussed earlier. Like this, there are so many expansions. On the net, if you search, this whole tree of how they are divided and what, it's there. Go and research that. This topic you need to sit down and study a bit, digest. Then he speaks about the first quadruple expansions, Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. These are the Prabhava Vilasa. It is Tad Ekatma Rupa, but it is Prabhava Vilasa. It is Vilasa, but within Vilasa there is Prabhava and Swamsha. Sorry, Prabhava and Vaibhava. This is the Prabhava Vilasa. So then there are like this unlimited expansions. The Lord is there in Goluka, He is there in Dwarka, in the spiritual world, He is there in Mathura in different form, He is there in the Vaikunthas in different form, He is there in the Chaturvyuha, Sankarshan, and Vasudev. So all these various varieties across these various categories. Prabhav Prakash, Vaibhav Prakash, across Swayam Rupa, across Tad Ekatma Rupa, the categories of two categories that we discussed are Vilasa and Swamsha. There are unlimited expansions. There are the Chaturvyaha. From the Chaturvyaha comes Narayan. From the Narayan comes another secondary set of quadruple expansions. They cover all the four directions. Again, these quadruple forms expand 3 times each, beginning with Keshava. So, a lot of these technical explanations are given. Not go into that. So, Sankarshan expands as Govinda, Vishnu, Madhusudan. This Govinda is Vishnu form, is not same as the. All these technicalities are mentioned. These 12 forms, 4 into 3, 12, are the 12 names that we use when we put tilak on the body. Om Keshvaya Namah, Om Narayana Namah, Om Madhavaya Namah, Om Govindaya Namah, Om Vishnuve Namah, Om Sudaya Namah, Om Trivikramaya Namah, Om Vamanaya Namah, Om Karshana Namah, Om Buddhaya Namah, Om Viruddhaya Namah. 12 names. Sorry, I'm not going to go through all the final details because there will just be so much information. Definitely be not able to retain any of this. So all these forms, all these Vishnu forms, they all preside over different Vaikuntha planets, spiritual world. Eternally residing. There are some forms of Vishnu who are residing even within the material world, especially the Purusha avatars. There is of course, Narayan is eternally residing on the spiritual world also. And there are Vishnu expansions within this material world. I'll stop here. Here at 15. Very technical. Different forms, in what order they hold the lotus, club, conch, and disc. Based on that sequence, in which hand, what are the names of the various deities that is described. And then the 3 types of Krishna are briefly described. Krishna in Vrindavan, Krishna in Dwarka, Krishna in Mathura. So, technicalities are there. Okay. We'll probably roughly start 2:45 next time. Just remind me if I forget. 45, the other things there. So we are going to start next time from the 6 types of incarnations of the Lord. That's an interesting topic. That's something you can remember. 6 types of incarnations. So let us continue from there. That is quite a bit of interesting information. Okay. So thank you very much. Please forgive me for technicality. I tried to simplify as far as possible. Hearing this is also very purifying. So no worries. Yes, Amit Prabhu, ask something.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So, Lord Chaitanya would come under the Swayam Rupa form or Swayam Prakash, or is Lord Chaitanya completely different?
Swayam Rupa only. Actually, we don't say, we say Krishna and Lord Chaitanya are the same. He's not, just like Krishna is avatari, Lord Chaitanya is also avatari. He's original. He's not an incarnation of Krishna. So I would think, interesting question. Technically, I don't know whether any Acharya has commented on that, but definitely he's not considered an expansion. He's considered non-different from Krishna. He's Krishna in the mood of Radharani. But because he has a specific bodily manifestation, whether he's considered as Tad Ekatma Rupa, I'm just curious. but I would hold my comment on that. I think we need to check more, but I don't know the technical classification on top of my head. But the key point to understand is Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nahi Anya. It's not different. The same, just like Jagannath. Jagannath is Krishna.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, this is interesting. Yeah, exactly what kind. Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, Sudhir Sundar Prabhu.
Prabhu, for us as a devotee, ultimately, even in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna's, what is that? Krishna was mentioned to Arjuna that worshiping in his two one-handed form. So this two-handed form is the form in Vrindavan, is it? Can we?
Yeah. Correct.
Can we just take it like that? Because based on your explanation, the others are going to be a bit challenging. So as long as we just worship in this what sense, then should be okay.
Seems to be based on Prabhupada's purpose. It seems to be there. Of course, technically, of course, two-armed is definitely Krishna. But then, somebody may say, is it Vrindavan Krishna, Dwarka Krishna, Mathura Krishna? They are all two-armed. But Krishna, the purpose, and Krishna doesn't specify that, but Krishna says that even the devatas are hankering to see this form. So must be the Vrindavan form, because that's what the Acharyas comment. The Vrindavan form is very, very special and confidential. It is not even manifested in every day of Brahma. Sorry, in every cycle. It's manifested only once in a day of Brahma. One of the yugas. Once. So only 125 years the Lord manifests as Shyam Sundar and performs his pastime. Actually, even out of the 125 years, his Shyam Sundar pastimes are only up to the time that he steps out of Vrindavan, which is barely the first 10 years of his life, of his manifest Lila. Right after that, it is the Lila of Mathura and then the Lila of Dwarka. And 10 years out of Brahma's one day, which is 8.64 billion years, the day and the night put together. 10 years. When the devatas are hankering. Of course, the devatas, when they perform yajna, so many times Lord Vishnu will appear, so many others will appear and give darshan, accept the Vedas, accept the yajna offerings. But you can't summon Krishna like that. Krishna will manifest based on Ragatmika Bhakta's pure devotion. It's very, very rare.
Hare Krishna, bro. Just to clarify another point, I also have heard in some of the classes says that Vrindavan, Krishna doesn't. Krishna in one Vrindavan, actually, he doesn't leave Vrindavan. He, in order to the other to what Dwaraka and Mathura is more of his expansion of the actual original. Am I right, bro?
Yeah. Vrindavanam Pratyajya Padam Ekam Nagacchati. So it is said when Akrura was taking Krishna out of Vrindavan to Mathura, at the border of Vrindavan, there was a place where Krishna and Balram said, let us take a bath here. They went into that water. That's where Akrura also went in. He saw, instead of Krishna and Balram, he saw Lord Vishnu and Ananta. It is said Krishna and Balram in their original form stayed there. And from there, their expansions, the Vaibhav forms came out. And they left. Krishna did not leave Vrindavan. So like that, the Acharyas explain. Yeah. Krishna, as soon as he steps out of Vrindavan, he is not in that mood. So that's the understanding. Vrindavanam Pratyajya Padam Ekam Nagacchati. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you. Yeah, that is true.
Probably one small question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Gunavatar's Lord Vishnu is same as Shirodaksha Vishnu.
Sorry, sir.
The Guna avatars, right? Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. So this Vishnu is Shirodaksha Vishnu.
Yeah, Shirodaksha Vishnu is the uh, is the Vishnu who is from the Trimurti.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
There is Mahavishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, and Kshirodaksha Vishnu. Kshirodaksha Vishnu is residing on the ocean of milk within this world on Shweta Dvipa, which is the pole star. There, if you happen to go and see, then if you have transcendental vision, then you can see. Even the Devatas cannot see otherwise. You can only stand at the bank of the ocean of milk. Even the Devatas.
Yeah.
If you are allowed entry, if you get visa, then you can see there. Then there is also another Satyalok or Vaikuntha Lok, which is higher than Brahma Lok, which is within this universe. There another form of the Lord, I forgot the name. Is it Ajita or something? I forgot. He resides there. There's another Vaikuntha within this material world. So these realms are not destroyed when the universe is destroyed.
So that Vaikuntha is beyond the 24 incarnate forms of God.
Yes, I think so. I'm not very sure.
Okay.
I don't know on top of my head. I would think so.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Prabhu.
I think I heard that is the Lord who appeared from that planet. And I can be corrected, I'm not 100% sure, but if I remember correctly, that is the Lord who appeared to save Gajendra.
Okay.
Gajendra raised his trunk with a lotus.
Flower.
May he who is the supreme come and accept my offerings. The Lord gave. I think his name is Ajita. Maybe you can just check the pastime of Gajendra. That form of the Lord's name is mentioned.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Jai. Shri Shyam Sundar Bhagavan ki jai. Thank you very much. So I'll see you on Saturday. Continue our Bhagavatam.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Vinod.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Hari,
Prabhu.
nice
Hare
to see you.
Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Prabhuji.
you, Lila Mataji. Sridhar ji, Sini ji,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Sivanti, Hare Krishna, Mataji. Is that Sivanti Mutaya? Who's connecting from that connection? Gautam Madan Mohan ji, thank you. Of course, Amit Priya as usual. Suraj Shalini, Sridhar ji. Hari Hari. Sneha ji. So I'll see you all on Saturday. Hari Bol, Hari.
Hare Bol, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Vinod, thank you so much. Nice to see you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank